Elin's broken, Alice is broken, I'm broken, the wheelchair is broken. The only thing that isn't broken is the hoist, and thank for that. Hi and welcome to the vlog. I have washed all of Elin's sheets and I need to get her bed made. Then I need to get her onto her bed and change her pad. And then I need to give you all an update about the 5 billion injuries and broken things that are going on here. As you can see, I'm taped up because my tendonitis has completely and utterly flared up. So for once, I'm actually gonna hoist Elin. And I tell you what, once she's out of that chair, she's not going back in it until the wheelchair engineer has been out. I told you everything was broken, right? Oh, Jesus. I just hit my head on the bloody hoist as well. I think I managed to move the chair where I needed it to go. Hi, beautiful. I think the chair needs to be a bit further forward, Elin. Watch your head. Okay, you're gonna go up, 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 up. How are we doing? Are we okay? And down we go. After I've dragged out a random bag that I've hidden underneath Elin's bed so I won't have to unpack it. Good girl! How's that? Very slow but definitely better for mummies. Okay. Lean back. That's it, good girl. You need a... Ooh, hoisting in the face, you need a clean pad. And then when we have a clean pad, we're going to tell everybody what's going on with everything. Shall we start with the ways in which Elin is broken? My poor child. And let's get this one to support one of the parts of you that isn't working as it should do. Elin's broken, Alice is broken, I'm broken, the wheelchair is broken. The only thing that isn't broken is the hoist, and thank for that. Okay? Elin's poor tummy is an awful lot better, we think. But she had a candida infection in her stomach, a yeast infection. So she has been on a 2-week-long course of a medicine called fluconazole, which is a strong antifungal treatment. And not only does it kill the yeast infection that's there, it also kills everything else, the stuff you want to have in there. Okay, you need to be careful with your sister, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have some interesting output, let's call it that. What is coming out of her is not pleasant. It is sticky and smelly and difficult to clean. So if you're wondering why my K-tape is already coming off, it's because I cleaned Elin's pad and then I had to wash my hands, and I should have worn gloves really to do this. But somebody keeps playing, so there are no gloves left because somebody here thinks the gloves are toys.
I'm actually kind of using them for good purposes, and we can actually clean those gloves and then put them back.
Can we now?
Yeah.
Right. Elin is starting to get very hungry and tired and exhausted and wanting to not be sitting like this, but she's going to have to. The other thing that is broken with Elin is that this hip is out of socket. It is now dislocated again. And I say again because it has been before, and it has been very badly before. Because of Elin's disability, she gets hip dysplasia. Effectively, her hip joints never developed as they should have done because she didn't start standing up as a toddler and therefore get the hip joints doing what they should have been doing. So her hip joints are very shallow. On top of that, her muscles are always very tense. So over time, she pulls her hip joint out of socket. She's had one surgery on her right side where they did what's called a double osteotomy. So they broke both her thigh bone and her pelvis to create a new joint.
Put screws in that too.
And put screws and plates in. And then on her left, they broke her thigh bone to create a new joint. And then she had another operation to remove all the metal work. That last operation was about a year ago, and she's been due a 1-year follow-up with her orthopedic surgeon, and they've been really busy, so they weren't able to see her at Stanmore Hospital. Instead, they offered us an appointment at the Bolsover Street Clinic. So we're talking central London, and I mean really central London, very close to Great Ormond Street Hospital, at 8:30 in the morning. There is no way on God's green earth we get Elin into London at 8:30 in the morning. Yeah, we can drive the wheelchair van in there, but where on earth do you park in that part of town? Like, that does not happen. And we already knew that the hip had migrated out of socket, so what we did was we requested an x-ray at the local hospital here in Bedford, called Bedford Hospital, funnily enough, which confirmed that the hip was out of socket That was sent over to Stanmore, and Elin now has an appointment at Stanmore Hospital. More hip updates are coming, but we need to be very careful with how we handle her at the moment.
I just don't want her to have an operation at Bedford Hospital because you know why.
I know why. Elin's first hip surgery was at Bedford Hospital, and that was an absolutely horrendous experience.
I was thinking about Elin's birth.
Oh, Elin wasn't born at Bedford Hospital. She was born at Stevenage Hospital.
So they're the people that couldn't help her?
No one could have helped her at her birth, sweetheart. It wouldn't have mattered.
But Luton did.
Yeah, Luton were able to save her life. So that's how Elin is broken. And yes, Elin wants her food, and God knows what's going on with mine and Alice's food. Alice is broken. You can probably all see the disgustingness of Alice's toenails right now. I'm not very happy about the fact that she's got her foot right up towards the camera. Alice and I went out for a walk yesterday, and Alice walked into a rebar.
That was sticking out the ground?
Yeah.
I thought it was a root at first, but it would have bended.
It was metal, and she bashed her ankle, and it hurts. And I don't quite know why she says her wrist hurts.
It just was really hurting automatically, I don't know.
Okay.
And I just wanted to stop physically moving it, otherwise it's going to... And more pain.
Right, okay. Alice, I think we need a little break in filming while I go and sort out dinner.
Okay.
Okay, so the wheelchair. This is the handbrake I broke, and as you can see, it does nothing. And what happened was I had the wheelchair a little bit too close to the van, so when I opened the back of the van, it hit it and it broke it. But it also means that it's in a locked position. The wheel on this side, that rolls. The wheel on this side is completely stuck. So in order to move the chair is basically a question of forcing it through the handbrake. So I rang up wheelchair services in a bit of a panic, to be perfectly honest, only to be told that they don't deal with the emergency repairs. So they gave me the phone number to somebody else or someplace else that does deal with the emergency repairs, and I rang them, and they're gonna get an engineer out tonight. Now, the engineer is turning up after Elin has gone to bed, and hopefully after she's gone to sleep. I don't want an engineer turning up after she's gone to sleep, but 8:30 is the earliest he's gonna get here. So I do plan to wrestle that wheelchair out and putting it in the van, because this is where Elin sleeps, and that's the door. And I don't want to wake her up with the big lights coming on and everything for him to look at the chair. And this is literally the only place where he can work on it. So yeah, I'm gonna move it outside. He may not be able to fix it. He may not have all the parts that he needs, but hopefully he'll be able to unlock that brake. And then we have brake on the wheel, you know, the ones that you sort of move manually to lock the wheels, and it will do while they get the parts needed in order to fix the handbrakes completely. And I mean, the irony is that the other handbrake is also broken, except that it doesn't break. So I have one handbrake that doesn't break and one handbrake that doesn't unbrake. Ow. And that leaves us with broken knee. You can see I've removed my tape. When I washed my hands after Elin's pad changed, it started coming off, peeling off at the edges. And then every time I have done anything with Elin, you know, I need to get in here to stabilize her or to move her, and it's just been peeling off and peeling off. So I pulled it all off, and it's a shame because it was the last of the K-tape I had. My wonderful fella has ordered some more for me, but it's not here yet, so I'm gonna have to go without. I have chronic tendonitis. I have degradation in the tendons in my arms, and they are bad. They're bad all the time, and then I get flare-ups when they get really bad. So right now the pain is going from the top of my shoulder out to the fingertips, and it's not great for somebody who has to do a lot of manual handling. I also have osteoarthritis. I think the osteoarthritis doesn't make the tendon thing any better. I don't think it helps. I've sort of had a flare-up of this pain lingering in the background for a few days. I work at Aldi. That work is physically very, very heavy, so it's been on the go for a few days, and then breaking the wheelchair, and I basically I had Elin in the chair, and it broke outside Aldi where we'd gone shopping, so I had to get her onto the wheelchair van with a wheel that wasn't moving, and then I had to get her off the wheelchair van and into the house with a wheel that wasn't moving, and that was basically the end of my tendons and nerves in my arms. They said, no thank you very much, we're not playing ball. I mean, the problem is that this is painful. And it's a move I can't get away from. I can't not feed Elin. Having to maneuver her back and forth to change her pad, it's painful. Dressing and undressing her, everything to do with Elin is painful. And I think this is something that, unless you are a carer, I don't think you can fully understand how much it wears down a body to care for somebody physically in this way. I'm far from the worst of, if you like, in terms of health. Yeah, I have quite severe anxiety from time to time. All of my joints are unhappy, so I don't just have osteoarthritis in my hands. I suspect I have it in the rest of my body as well, but that's never been confirmed. The hands have been confirmed. We live such unbelievably stressful lives, both physically and mentally, emotionally, that we get sick from caring. And we push through caring even when we are sick because we literally don't have another option. That got very dark, didn't it, Elin? Yes, I went very dark there. Mwah. I love you. I will still look after you. No matter how much it hurts me, I will always love to look after you. So melodramatic, Mom. Yeah, so anyway, I'm kind of grateful I've got the hoist. I think using the hoist right now is much better for me and much better for Elin. I'm not going to pretend that her dislocated hip doesn't hurt her. I'm pretty sure it does, but it's not, because it's not an acute emergency dislocation. It's something that's been happening over a long time. I think the pain is different. You know, she doesn't seem that discomforted by it, and she's on baclofen and gabapentin, and I think both of those really help with the pain as well. But you know, I think for her comfort, with the leg as it is, with the hip as it is, hoisting is definitely a better choice, and absolutely for me, because I think right now lifting Elin manually is probably dangerous, because I can't 100% guarantee that I'll be able to hold on to her if something happens. So we're hoisting again. Shall we try and make a habit of it, Elin? Because I should not be lifting you anymore. I should not have been lifting you for the last year. It's just that it's so much quicker and easier to do. Yeah. Who wants to wait for a hoist when you can just kind of go? I know I don't. It's just that right now I can't just go. No. And I did very deliberately, even though this is a tiny flat, I was very conscious of how I set up the living room so that it would be possible to get the hoist in and out. So, you know, I feel smug. Been here for 6 months, finally using the hoist the way I intended. Alice is going to be absolutely fine. Her ankle is a little bit bruised, and I think she's just milking having a medical issue more than actually having a medical issue, if you see what I mean. And now I need to do Elin's evening medicines and get little Miss to bed so that we can be up bright and early again tomorrow morning, because both girls have play skiing tomorrow morning. Children occupied during summer holidays, that's what we want. Right, so that was your current update. You're gonna get a vlog that goes much more into detail about Elin's candida and how we've been dealing with that. You're gonna get more vlogs on her hips going forward, and just generally day to day how we're coping with summer holidays. So hit that subscribe button, make sure you follow us, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you share our vlogs to people who need to see them, and we are ever so grateful that you're here watching us. Thank you. Bye.